Welcome to the Pittsburgh Dish. I'm your host, Doug Heilman. Do you want to be a member of a club that specializes in eating pizza sandwiches? Well, count us in with this week's guests. What downtown spot is bringing top-notch taste with chic Instagram looks? Autumn Pawelec clues us in. And searching for another weeknight meal that's a hit with the whole family? Meghan Pohl offers up a one-pot chicken dish that's sure to please. All that ahead. Stay tuned. Thanks to Chip and Kale Plant-Based Meals for their ongoing support of the Pittsburgh Dish. And as warmer months approach, check out their true side hustle, Side Hustle Pizza, popping up in friendly neighborhood spots. You can find more information on their Instagram handle at Side Hustle Pizza PGH. Now, on to the show. Thank you guys both for coming over and for being on the show. Yeah. Would you introduce yourselves and what you have going on right now in the world of food?
Yeah, I'm Brittani Boutilier. I'm working a full-time job while also doing pop-ups with Dustin for 77 Club. We have a lot going on. We have a full year booked with a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, I'm Dustin Boutilier. I am not working a full-time job. I'm full-time 77 Club, and we're just, getting through the winter time, excited for spring. We have a lot of stuff going on.
I would love to define for our listeners, if they haven't discovered you yet, Dustin, what is 77 Club?
Yeah, so 77 Club is a wood-fire kitchen, I guess we could say.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of what a kitchen is and what we put out food. So, yeah, I mean, we're fully mobile. We come with wood-fire ovens. We pop up at breweries. We offer catering. Our main thing is definitely breweries and art galleries and, these sort of things. Community engagement and good pizza and Italian food.
Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely have some questions. So, number one, just out of curiosity, what kind of wood-fired oven are you using?
Yeah, right now we are using a Gosney Dome. It's the big one.
Yes.
And we use that to fire our Panuozzos. This is our interim oven for right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we're planning on purchasing a large oven through Breadstone ovens.
Brittani, there's other things that you guys do. Like the day I saw you, you had made some bread ahead of time. Is that a focaccia? Like, tell me again, what was that?
Yeah, we do a focaccia, focaccia sandwiches. Working with wood fire can be a little challenging at times. So we definitely had to figure out ways to make a pivot. Dustin's mastered focaccia. Some of the best, and we get this all the time, some of the best focaccia that people have tasted. So we had to make pivots in order to...
if it's a cold day or you just can't fire that oven up on site, right?
Yeah, or if it's too windy, it's raining, it's a little too cold to be outside. So we're able to make these pivots to make these delicious focaccia sandwiches.
And you did say something earlier I also want to define for folks. What is the pizza sandwich called?
It's called a Panuozzo.
Is this something that exists already that I just never heard the word? Or is this something you guys are creating and should be trademarking?
No, we're not creating our own funny Italian words.
Some people do, so you never know.
That's good to know. Maybe in the future we'll do that, and
it'll be a fun game.
So yeah, they're from Campagna.
Okay,
so.
Yeah, I don't think they're on a lot of menus that I've seen in Pittsburgh, anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, everything's on the internet, everything's on Instagram, and. We made the pivot originally. We were selling pizza out of our house, and the quality suffers. It's time and quality. You go to a pop up and someone orders a pizza, and then that pizza in these small ovens takes so long. You have 5 pizzas on back. That 5th pizza is going to be 40 minutes. The quality's not there, so we're like, let's pivot. So these little pizza sandwiches work perfectly for us.
Yes, are they like literally like a pizza crust folded over? Is that what we're talking about too?
Yeah.
Because the day I was there, it was a little cold and you didn't have the wood fire. So we had the focaccia.
Yeah.
All right. So people need to go and find you and grab one of these for sure. Because I don't see anyone else in the city doing what you're doing.
No, we're the only ones in Pittsburgh doing a Panuozzo. They're so much fun to eat, and Dustin's really came up with some really unique and delicious creations.
I want to get into that. Let's talk about some of the names of the sandwiches, or the big hitters, so to speak.
So the names of the sandwiches, when we were working out of our house doing the pizzas, we really wanted to focus on our love for music. And all of the names we've came up with are names of songs that we love. And we actually have a whole playlist that's on our on our link tree that you can click off of our Instagram that shows everyone the songs. But we have a lot of staples. And again, all of the names of them are after songs that we love.
Okay. Well, let's go through a couple of these. So let's start with I Am Blue. What's on the I Am Blue?
Yeah, that's I think one of my favorite, and one that people are surprised how much they love. I Am Blue is fontina, local ham, local smoked ham. We do a mustard cream, and that's what makes it special is the mustard cream. We've heard from many people, well, I don't like mustard. And
but they like this.
I often tell them, like, please try it. It's really delicious. And I tried to get them to try it. And when they try it, they're like, I don't like mustard, but this is so good.
Yes.
And then it's topped with thyme and fresh cracked pepper. And then all of our panoozos are topped with Parmesan.
So good.
It's delicious.
A mountain of American grana. It's
I do.
Delicious.
Oh, so good. Grana Padano is one of my favorites. So that's what you're doing. You're speaking my language too. I think I had the Luana.
Yes, you did.
And who's that named after? If you don't mind, we can cut it if you don't want to.
No, that's named after our daughter. She's 20 months old. Oh, she's so sweet.
Congratulations, too.
She's, a classic. Everyone loves her. So, everyone loves a margarita. So we figured that would be a perfect one to be a staple for us.
I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's the one I ordered the day that I saw you guys.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, the I Am Blue, that's named after a Grover song.
Grover.
From an old Sesame Street Sings the Blues vinyl. He sings this tragic song called I Am Blue.
I think I actually have that vinyl, by the way.
Dude, you really have that
I'm a
vinyl?
1974 club person here, so I think I have that vinyl.
It's a beautiful song.
It is.
Grover.
Yeah,
You got me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is so great. What a story. Okay, then what about Blockhead? Where's that from?
Devo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's on the Blockhead?
So the Blockhead is cream frige with some crisp potato.
Yes.
Just oven crisp potato. Good deep caramelized onions, thyme, and some more delicious grana.
Oh, so good. I've seen that crispy potato. I'm like, I think I need to have that. You don't get that on a sandwich very often. So why not? Better than putting the potato chips on my lunchtime sandwich in school or something.
I mean, that's good too.
It's
really
not
good.
bad. All right, the one more that I wanted to hit, if you guys don't mind entertaining me, is TV Party.
Yeah, TV Party is a Black Flag song.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we thought it was fitting to just kind of have the classic pepperoni jalapeno.
A little hot, a little spicy. So good.
Yeah, we use, and that's with mozzarella for the cheese.
Maz from Caputo Brothers.
I can't tell you from my perspective, the vibe that you guys are putting out, not only on your Instagram, which instantly captured me, and then these names with your product and the songs, and even the songs you pick and some of the short videos you do. It's amazing. I think you were we were close to around Valentine's Day when we're recording this, and you were handing each other what was a bouquet, but it wasn't a bouquet. What was on the bouquet?
This was such a fun video to do for us.
So silly.
It's a bouquet, and it has paper flowers that I made, and then it has 2 panuozzos in it.
Yes.
And then in the end, Dustin's topping the panuozzos with grana padano.
It is raining down.
It's raining down, and I'm just looking so in love.
Don't stop.
And I'm like, Dustin's like, say when. And I'm like, never.
People have to check it out. There's the other one where, Dustin, you put a little olive oil in your hair to start the day or something. I love that one too. I'm like, the creativity is there. And I think
woke up late.
It's so good. I think what's capturing me is that overall vibe that you've been able to create in kind of a short time. When did you guys start doing 77 Club?
October 14th was when we sold. October 14th, 2023 was the first pizza we sold out of our house.
So you're just in this over a year now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you've made a lot of good connections at the breweries.
Mm-hmm.
Where are some of the places that you often are popping up right now?
Yeah, we have quite a few residencies currently. I'm just going to pull it up.
Brittany's just pulling up her Rolodex on the phone of all of their partnerships. Go for it. Let's hear like the top 3 to 5, right?
So we have first Sundays, we're at Leaning Cask. Second and fourth Sundays, we're at 4 Points Brewery. We are on second Wednesdays at 11th Hour.
That's where I saw you all.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Third and fourth Thursdays, we're at Lawlive. Second Fridays, we're at Coven. And fourth Saturdays, we're at Jackworth Ginger Beer. So
Love
we
those
have
guys too.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, we're at quite a few places all around town. These residencies are great, and we love our partnerships.
I love that you have these residencies because it gives you just more of a consistency too. I'm like, hey, we're doing this. We know we're doing that. You're not sort of struggling to find a place, and you can probably at this point gauge how much traffic you're getting since you've done it a few times. Is that right?
Yeah, projections are, tricky things.
I'm sure,
especially in this time of year.
Yeah,
but
a little colder months.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's more about defining hopefully like a floor.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if we know the ceiling yet, but we're always, every time we get pushed, we try to change up how we do our setup and make things more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wanted to note that we're also partnering with Bunker Projects.
Oh, I think I saw something recently with Bunker Projects, right?
Mm-hmm. So we're part of their Bunker Commons program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me more. What does this mean?
Well, we're just, we're going to be doing some events with them this year.
Okay.
And some of their members of their Bunker Commons program get a little discount from us at our pop-ups.
Ah.
Yeah.
So just to add further about the Bunker Commons, Bunker Projects is actually a really great art gallery in Garfield.
Mm-hmm.
They, provide a space for artists to come from all over the country. And Bunker Commons is a program where people can donate a certain amount of money to them to allow them to pay their artists to be residents in their space. With the Bunker Commons program, you get different discounts to many different companies around the city, including us. We give $3 off of your first purchase. Then you also get
10% your first catering.
And then 10% off of your first catering with us.
I've been following Bunker Projects for a while, but I don't think I fully understood what's going on there. So I love that. Thanks for enlightening us a little bit more.
Yeah, really great organization to donate to. They really focus on women, people of color, and people of LGBTQIA plus community.
Love it. Before we move too far away from the food, I did want to ask a little bit more about the catering that you do. So you do offer like sandwiches and salads, and do you do the panuozzos? Like, tell us how catering works for you guys.
Yeah, so we offer on-site as well as off-site catering. So for the off-sites, that is going to be like the focaccia sandwich drops, things like that, veggie platters.
Yes.
And for the on-sites, we do all that as well, but we light up our ovens. We're out there smoking. We'll be at your house, at your business, wherever.
So fun, especially as we get into some spring and warmer months. I would love to have you out in my business parking lot, like cooking up things for my crew.
Yeah, we did one this morning.
You did?
Yeah,
today.
Offsite. Yeah,
oh
we had
my
a
gosh.
Yeah.
And it's like 34 degrees outside.
That was an offsite. It was up in Sewickley.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Dustin of 77 Club.
And you're listening to the Pittsburgh Dish.
Well, I did want to take a bit of a pivot and just learn a little bit more about the both of you. We've talked before when we first met. When did you move back to Pittsburgh? I know, Brittany, you said you were born here, but you didn't live here your whole life. Give me a little bit of that timeline.
Yeah, so I was born in Sharon, which is north of Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
I lived there until I was 13, and then my parents and I moved to California.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in California for 17 years. That's where I met Dustin. I met Dustin actually in high school.
In high school?
In high school, yeah. And from there, we moved back here about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Dustin, you were like Orange County native, is that right? Or LA native?
Yeah, so I'm originally from, I was born in Pasadena.
Okay.
California.
It's so lovely. Pasadena is such a great town.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. coming from there and growing up in, Los Angeles. And then, I did pivot to Orange County in high school. So, yeah, I mean, we got married and we're like, what are we doing in California? So we actually lived in Rio de Janeiro for our honeymoon. We had plans to move to Chile and actually open up a restaurant out there, but that was all during COVID. So Brittany is a Chilean citizen.
Mm-hmm.
And
is that your mom, Brittany?
Yeah, my mom.
Yeah, she has dual citizenship. I do not. So there was some affidavit, some government paper that I did not sign correctly, and I was barred from the country. What? And that's what prompted us not going further, deeper into South America. Brought us back up to the States, brought us to Pittsburgh.
Wow.
And such a big pivot, but it's been amazing since then. I mean, such a community out here. So,
well, I'm so glad you're here. I hope folks continue to discover you. How long did you spend in Rio?
We were there for nearly 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, and we did besides Rio, we were in a state called Bahia, and most of our time we were spent in Buzios.
Okay.
We had like a little bungalow right by the beach in Buzios, so we were mostly there, and then went to Rio. We were in Rio about a month.
I have to ask, what did you all think about the food experiences in Brazil?
It's wild. It's much different. I mean, the meat's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. You can get burnt out from the meat, but then there's, seafood.
Yeah.
So it's great.
We had, honestly, probably some of the best sushi I've ever had in my life in Rio de Janeiro. Yeah. I mean, it's right by the ocean.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It was so fresh. They had traditional, and then they had some that was a little bit different. One roll that had truffle in it, but it was so good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I always love hearing like food experiences and influences and stories. I kind of want to come back to the Panuozzo. I'm saying that right.
Panuozzo.
Yeah. I want to come back to the Panuozzo and everything else you're doing. Tell me where this idea of the pop-up and the Panuozzo and the Italian sort of vibe comes in here.
Yeah, so I've worked in wood fire ovens for years. I've been working in kitchens like 14, 15 years. I love wood fire pizza ovens. I just want it to be back in that. So our daughter was born and we're like, how can we spend more time together? Which is a funny thing because, we're so busy now, but we are together.
Yeah.
So we just bought the ovens and just said, let's just go for this. And then that led to a second oven, which led to the upgraded oven. And now, we're going to upgrade again.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about food in your formative years? So, Dustin, you're saying you were working in wood-fired ovens, I guess, as, in other jobs, right? Mm-hmm. But what about at home? Were there influences that like really propelled you into this like passion of food from an earlier age?
Yeah, I'm half Mexican. So, yeah, like my grandma would make tamales and stuff like that. So I just grew up eating really delicious foods and hanging around the kitchen. I was a kid that was in the kitchen like all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love this whole like mix of influence, like bringing you forward. And what about you, Brittany? What was food like in your house or growing up?
I think similarly, like I think a lot of people get this from family, but my grandma on my mom's side was a cook, and I just remember watching her cook all day after she retired, and she would just literally stew meat, not in a crock pot, just stew meat all day. The house would just be filled with love and the best scents ever, and
cutting onions in her hand.
Yeah, Dustin used to cook with my grandma when she was alive. They had a lot of great times cooking together, and I'm so glad that they were able to spend time together. But she would cook all day, literally 12 hours cooking a meal, and that was a part of my life, all my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, and it's a passion or love, all the things.
Yeah, yeah. Food is love.
Yeah, the slow food.
So help me trace the steps. What brought you back to Pittsburgh?
Well, when we came back from Brazil, Dustin's parents were actually in Tucson.
Okay.
And so we actually lived there for about 6 months, and Tucson's beautiful, great hiking. But it didn't really feel like the spot for us. It didn't feel it wouldn't feel like home. And I actually have cousins that live in Pittsburgh, and I've always loved coming to Pittsburgh, and I would visit just to see my cousins. And, from there I was like, hey, Dustin, like, why don't we try going to Pittsburgh? It's affordable, great city. And
I said, okay.
Yeah, he said, okay.
Have you ever been, Dustin?
Never.
Okay.
He came blindly. He was just like, okay, let's go. And we have found a beautiful, beautiful community here.
I love this.
Yeah.
I tell you what, driving in, not knowing what Pittsburgh looks like, with a 16-foot U-Haul hauling your car behind it on those tight streets. I was like, oh, this is Pittsburgh.
Dustin called it his rig the whole way here from Tucson.
Yeah, and then we moved into the South Hills, and I was like, this rig is big for these streets right now. That was crazy.
But Brittany, you hit it. Check. Affordable, great communities. And I just have to say, I think it's a great place to raise kids.
It is. And I actually have like an amazing moms group here that I'm so thankful for. And we all feel connected and feel like we're going to raise our kids in a good community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. I have one more question before it gets away from me. Tell me the origin story of the name 77 Club.
Yeah, so we were coming up with a lot of different names, but none of them sounded right. And I just kind of blurted that out. Yeah, I mean, 1977 is just an iconic year in art, music, fashion. That was the birth of punk. And just growing up being a, skater, punker kid, I just really identify with that DIY spirit. And it really just spoke to us. And we're like, that's the name.
Yeah, that. And then like the club, we talk about how we want people to feel like they're part of something with us. And having the club thing is like, well, you're part of our club now. You're part of our family. So, yeah.
I'm bought in. Like, I truly, as soon as I saw you guys hitting on Instagram, I'm like, what is this? What is this club? I must understand. And like the food is just amazing. And so you've hooked me, and I hope you keep hooking everybody else to join into that community.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
I want to ask Dustin, I think you sort of hinted at it. You've been at this for a little bit more than a year now. What's ahead for the both of you? You've got these residencies at all of the breweries that we listed earlier, and that'll go on through the entire year. Is that right?
Yeah, the whole year.
Other goals, other things you want to be doing or expanding to?
Yeah, I mean...
I don't mean to get you choked up.
Don't cry.
Yeah, I mean, we want to expand our catering.
Okay.
We want to, one day have, a small group of well-paid assassins, that we can have,
Yes.
our co-conspirators
Yes.
in this club. And, obviously, we'd love a brick and mortar space, at least our own space. Even if we're just prepping out there, we're still doing the catering.
Yes.
It's just a place to call home, I think, more than anything.
Mm-hmm. Did you hint at you want a bigger oven?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe two.
All right. So this is like the birthday holiday. These are my presents, please.
I think that the first oven we got was literally like a birthday gift to ourselves because our birthdays are 6 days apart.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so I think
She's older. She's 2 years older.
I'm 2 years older.
Oh.
But yeah, we got our first oven as like a gift to ourselves for our birthdays 2 years ago. We were like, let's just do this thing.
If you listen back, I talked to John and Zita, and they do Side Hustle Pizza. And she bought him a Gosney, and he created Side Hustle Pizza.
Yeah, it's infectious.
Yeah, it is infectious. You can find him over in the Mount Lebo area a lot.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll have a full size, kind of mid size, not full size, wood fire pizza trailer in late April, early May, and that's from Breadstone Ovens out of Dallas.
Wow!
Yeah,
I can't wait to see that. Hope it shows up on some Instagram stories.
Oh, yeah. We'll have a whole thing, I'm sure.
In addition to growing the catering and getting a bigger oven, any other big events on the horizon? Anything happening like maybe later in the spring or summer?
Yeah, so we'll actually be co-hosting a block party with Bunker Projects. It's going to be featuring a lot of, great vendors, maybe some records, maybe some food, some booze vendors.
And you guys will be serving up your stuff there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. We're going to have some other pizza friends there as well. So,
where is the block party? Up in Garfield?
Yeah, it's going to be on Garfield. It's going to be right behind Bunker Projects, behind Penn Avenue.
Okay. I love it. Well, since we've been talking a bit about you, and if folks are not following you, where can they find and follow you in terms of your social media or anything else you have out there?
We are on Instagram, and you can find us at 77club_PGH.
All right. Dustin, Brittany, it's been such a pleasure getting to know you more. I do have one more question for you both today, and you can answer together or separately. The name of the show is The Pittsburgh Dish. What's the best dish you've eaten this past week?
Probably a pizza we got from our friends at Black Cat Pizza.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Yeah, it was delicious. Yeah. We paid them a visit at 4 Points Brewery.
What did you have? Tell us more. Dustin's pulling out his phone. He's like, did I take a picture? What was on the menu?
They gave us two. So one was like a margarita and one was, these are like the grandma slice. I'm not sure what they call them, but they're calling them a Sicilian, a grandma slice, whatever. Square pie, whatever.
Square slices.
Yeah. Delicious squares.
Mm.
And they had the burrata hot honey. They had the margarita with the basil. It was delicious. And that dough is awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Is this your best bite as well, Brittany?
I would say so too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Black Cat Pizza.
Black Cat Pizza.
And you can find them around town, kind of like you guys. I sort of love the story that you're doing a thing, they're doing a thing, and there's still, in this community, there's always camaraderie over competition. And I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Very true. Yeah, we try to, it's very tough, but we try to, when we can, to support other pop-ups.
It's
a
impossible.
little tough, but we do try as much as we can.
I know. If you're doing them, it's hard to get there, but I love pop-ups too. And there's so many that I actually have on my list. I'm like, I think I want to talk to them. And I think I want to talk to them. And it's just hard to get to everybody.
Yeah.
Brittany, Dustin, thank you both so much for being on the Pittsburgh Dish.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us, Doug. Welcome to the club.
Oh, thank you. We can't wait to grab another Panuozzo from 77 Club. And if you're interested in that block party that Dustin and Brittany were talking about with Bunker Projects, it's currently slated for June 2025. Up next, looking for a chic dining spot downtown that tastes as good as it looks? We check in with Autumn Pawelec. Hey everybody, we're joined today with Autumn Pawelec, a model and content creator. Autumn, I know you've been doing a lot more with restaurant spots on your feed. Mm-hmm. I was wondering, when you go out, say downtown in Pittsburgh, is there a spot that's really something on your radar right now that you love?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ritual House. It's my go-to. If you want to go downtown, get a little fancy schmancy, Ritual House is my spot. I literally am there maybe like twice a month. Yes.
And it's in the Union Trust building, which also has the speckled egg.
Yeah. And Del Frisco's.
That's right.
Yes.
So there's a few things in there. Mm-hmm. I know I haven't had a chance to visit Ritual House yet, but it looks beautiful inside.
Oh my gosh, it's stunning. Yeah. When I tell you it is like a bougie, Instagrammable spot.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is. If you walk in and then you go up to the bar, there are just tons of chandeliers hanging from the ceiling with this like awesome funky wallpaper. It's just a vibe. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
It is just a vibe. It's so pretty.
Well, it does have those multiple levels and layers, so to speak, but the food itself also doesn't disappoint.
Oh
right?
my gosh. Everything there is so, so good. Shout out to Chef Ed and his awesome wife Amanda. She's a manager there at the Ritual House, and Chef Ed is the head chef. And they do an incredible job there.
Let's talk about a couple of the bites that you've enjoyed, or maybe some of your friends have enjoyed when you were there.
So every time I go there, I have to get the bruleed oranges. Oh. And it's really good. Whenever I first saw the menu and I was like, bruleed oranges, like, I don't know, we'll see. No, I have to get that dish every single time. It's slices of oranges with a little bit of that crystallized brulee topping on it, with goat cheese and a little bit of microgreens. Oh my gosh, I could literally eat the whole dish myself.
All right, so you took me for a turn. At first, I thought you were going to talk about it as a dessert, but is it more like a starter?
It's an appetizer.
An appetizer.
Yes, it's an appetizer. It's so good.
With the goat cheese?
Yeah,
and that,
goat cheese and like those burnt sugar, microgreens. So good. Another appetizer that I absolutely love is their shrimp and crab cocktail, and they serve it in like a martini glass. So you get the lemon wedge, squirt it over, and it's it's like, it's so cool because you feel really cool eating the shrimp and crab cocktail out of it because it's like in a martini glass. So that one's really good too. It's real light if you don't want anything heavy, before your dinner.
This is next gen shrimp cocktail that we used to serve, in martini glasses many moons ago.
But they have it in like a special way, and it's just it's so good. Yeah, and their fried burrata too is incredible. Oh, it's so good. They have it like they have 2 balls, and then when you spread it open, it kind of just like the cheese oozes
out
into like this olive oil kind of saucy like. It's just so good.
That sounds delicious.
It's so good.
Now it's fried first. So is it?
Yes.
Is it breaded in any way?
It's
coated?
breaded.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So like,
but when you're cracking it open.
And then when you crack it open, the cheese and like this olive oil kind of like red vodka sauce mix, it just all seeps into it. And it's so freaking good.
Oh my gosh.
It's so good.
All right. I'll have that right now.
Yeah, me too.
Is there any like main dish that you've had that really stood out?
Their short rib dish is so good. It literally melts in your mouth. It's a big, big, nice, juicy piece of short rib on top of, I want to say it's like a polenta mash.
Oh, that's nice.
And then these pearl onions on top with this like demi-glaze sauce. It is so good. It's one of my go-to dishes every single time.
Again, this is like a grandma's Sunday day roast, but like on steroids.
Yes.
Wow.
It's so good. I love that. I'm trying to think of another dish. There's so many on the menu that I absolutely love. They have a fabulous steak there as well.
And you're a steak girl.
I am a steak girl. Yeah. I usually get that Oscar style. Very, very good. But yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with any sort of dish at all.
I think the thing that I've noticed most when folks have gone there are some of the desserts.
Oh, the desserts are so fun and they're super, super tasty. One of my favorites is it's called Not Your Grandma's Pretzel Salad. And it's it's almost like coated strawberries, but they're not strawberries. You kind of like whack them to have them open up. Yeah. And it's like this like really jelly mousse texture, but it comes with a sparkler. So whenever it is presented to your table, there is a sparkler going off on one side of the board, and then you get a giant stem of cotton candy on the other side. So it's kind of like you get a little bit like 2 desserts in one.
Yeah.
It's so good. And the presentation there is just phenomenal.
This is performance art.
Yes. Yeah. It's like I said, it's very Instagrammable for sure.
But still delicious. Yes. And has those flavors that we're so used to of strawberry, jello, pretzel salad.
Yes.
But so not.
Yeah. It's truly a work of art. Oh. Yes.
All right. Ritual House right downtown in the Union Trust building.
Yep.
Autumn, thanks so much. And thanks for being on the Pittsburgh Dish.
Thank you for having me.
You can follow Autumn on Instagram at Autumn Pawelec. If weeknight recipes are sometimes a struggle, we've got you covered with a new one from our friend Meghan Pohl of Batch LLC. Hey everybody, we're joined today with Meghan Pohl, one of the owners of Batch LLC. Meghan, when we were here last time, we were talking about all of the good stuff that you can find at your shop, Batch, up in Saxonburg. But I was wondering if you have a recipe or a dish that you're making outside of the shop that you could share with our listeners.
Yeah, so as much as my daughter complains about how much chicken we eat, it is a versatile food. So I make it a lot, but one of my favorite things is I love chicken thighs. And I'll do like a dark mustard, maple syrup, brown sugar marinade on it. Oh. And I'll do like a lot of cracked pepper in there too. I'll marinate it in it for like, an hour or so. Brown it off. I have like the big Dutch oven, like cast iron Dutch oven. Brown it off in there, take it out, and then add onions and garlic and carrots. Simmer those for a minute, put the chicken back in and let it all kind of cook. And add a little bit of chicken broth, and then I'll add rice in. So it's almost like...
Yeah, like a one pot.
Yeah, like a one pot thing. And it just braises the chicken and it all gets like caramely from the syrup and the mustard. And it's just like one of my favorite like comfort foods.
Oh my gosh, it sounds so delicious. Yeah. You can't go wrong with chicken thighs because you can like almost hardly overcook them anyway.
Right.
When you make that marinade, are you taking the thighs out of the marinade and leaving some behind, or are you using the marinade too?
I just dump it all in.
The whole thing goes from marinade into the pot. So
like the chicken gets like caramely when I braise it like that, so it has like the little bites of like that flavor on there.
Oh my gosh, it sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And thanks for being on the Pittsburgh Dish.
I love it on the Pittsburgh Dish.
Meghan Pohl, along with Jessica Brewster, are the co-owners of Batch, located in Saxonburg. If you enjoyed the show, consider buying us a coffee for this episode or supporting the show monthly. You can find links to those options at the bottom of our show description. And if you want to follow my own food adventures, you can find me on social media at Doug Cooking. That's our show for this week. Thanks again to all of our guests and contributors, and to Kevin Selecki of Carnegie Accordion Company for providing the music to our show. We'll be back again next week with another fresh episode. Stay tuned.